Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlan, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the 2019 drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on maven.net/MishTalk. Welcome back to the show, Mish.
Hey, soon to be on the street, and you're the first to hear it. The Maven bought out the street, and I'm going to be on the street.com pretty soon.
Mike, the China-U.S. Phase 1 trade agreement, is there much in it?
Nothing. And I'm not the only one saying that. But, of course, there's some Trump cheerleaders who are bragging about this, but they'll literally brag about anything, Jim. But, okay, they rolled back some tariffs on China, and China agreed to buy more soybeans, and a lot more stuff, too. But everyone with any ounce of sense is wondering whether China can actually buy all the stuff that they've pledged to buy. One thing it did do, though, Jim, was it stopped the escalation of tariffs in China. But I have a feeling here now that Trump is just going to turn his attention to the EU, and some of it's justified. Tariffs aren't justified, but some of his anger is justified, but we'll see what happens here. Trump does not like to fight two trade wars at one time, so we just sort of concluded this. But now he's mad over Airbus, he's mad over German cars, so let's see. But I fully expect him to turn his attention now to the EU.
Britain now, of course, seems well on its way to Brexit. How does that affect trade with the U.S.?
Doesn't affect trade with the U.S. much. I suspect there will be a deal between the U.S. and U.K. It doesn't mean much to us. It might mean a little bit more to the U.K. The big thing is whether or not the U.K. and EU can forge out an agreement. I actually believe they will. I think it'll be a basic agreement. It won't cover much, but they will leave the details till later, and that all of that is a good thing. So all the people who were saying that there would never be a deal, that they would never leave the UK or the EU, now are making noises about there won't be anything in the deal. But Brexit was done, and I think we'll come up with a basic agreement simply because it's in the best interests of both parties to do so.
Will Britain really be truly independent again, or are there so many ties to the UK and countries around the world? There's little fingers and strings that are you ever truly independent anymore?
The U.S. is dependent on China, so I'm not sure what you mean. They are out of the EU without a doubt. They can forge their own treaties. Now they're going to have to agree to some of the things that the EU wants, but a lot of what the EU wants, or not a lot, but the migration stuff, the freedom of movement, they will agree to some of that, but they're going to escape all of the nonsensical EU agreements, be able to forge their own trade treaties, and get rid of especially the agricultural rules and the environmental rules and all kinds of things. But yeah, you know what? If they want to trade with the EU, yes, they won't be able to sell U.S. chlorinated chicken to the EU, but they can't do that anyway. So essentially, they scrapped a lot of what was really bad. But yeah, their hands are still tied by some of the things that the EU wants to do. But yeah, so no one's ever really independent, if you want to put it that way.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after the break.
Cypress Development Corp. is developing a world-class lithium resource in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. The size of the resource makes the Clayton Valley project a premier asset with the potential to impact the future of lithium supply. Cypress Development Corp. trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the OTCQB, symbol CYDVF, and on Frankfurt, symbol C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mike Shedlock. Mish, gold, how is it responding to the crisis in the Middle East right now?
It popped all the way to 1,600, fell all the way back down to, I believe, something like 1540-ish. Anyway, I don't have the exact number. But today it's back up to close to 1,660. I think gold is going to be one of the better performing asset classes into 2020. We'll see. I like it a lot. It's certainly responding to, I think, some of the QE, as is the stock market. But every country is doing, the same kinds of things with various stimulus. It's propelling the stock market. Jim, at some point, sanity is going to set in, but I've been saying this for 3 years, maybe now, on the stock market. Stocks are more overvalued now than 1929. They're as overvalued as the dot-com bubble in 2000. One big difference between now and the dot-com bubble is back then it was mainly dot-coms in the bubble. Now almost anything you point to. So we'll see what happens here. I've been way too overly bearish for the last 3 years. But I think gold is going to shine, and the stock market is at some point going to falter. I think it's this year, especially once the market starts looking at the reality. Well, this is my reality. It's not proven yet, but I believe Trump is going to lose the election in 2020.
Do the Democrats have anybody capable of beating Trump?
I think any of them would, except for perhaps Elizabeth Warren, and even that's unclear. The problem for Trump is he barely won the last election, running against the worst candidate possible in history, which was Hillary Clinton. She ran an extremely poor campaign. She was a lightning rod. Biden won't be a lightning rod. I I'm not even sure if Bernie Sanders would be a lightning rod. He certainly is an extreme socialist, no question about that. Elizabeth Warren is worse. Sanders is at least a genuine anti-war candidate, and he would pick up votes from some people who are upset about Trump's, I believe, fiasco in Iraq and Iran. People are free to have their own views on that, and they do, but that's how I see it. Manufacturing is turning down. Trump pissed off a lot of farmers with his trade tariffs. They're still going to be resentful of that. I don't think, as we just discussed, that these big trade deals are going to amount to much. In short, he barely won against a horrid candidate, and the economy is really not doing all that well. So if he loses just a couple of states that he won, Iowa, Ohio, or Pennsylvania, or Florida, he's going to be in trouble. I think it's a given he's going to lose Wisconsin and probably Michigan. Just add one more state into that, say Pennsylvania, which is one I've mapped out because it's doing pretty poorly as a state. And all of a sudden you've turned a small win into a small loss. But add Florida or Ohio to that mix, and all of a sudden you're looking at a big loss. I think that's likely. It's not a given. It's just how I see it. People think I'm crazy, but I'm willing to stick my neck out and say that's what I think is going to happen. Now, if it does happen, I don't believe it's going to be any good for the stock market.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after this.
Aben Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Aben's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at abenresources.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mike Shedlock. Mish, are people literally fleeing bankrupt Illinois?
Well, I am. And Illinois, bankrupt is my opinion of where the state is. But states can't declare bankruptcy. In Illinois, not even cities and municipalities can declare bankruptcy, although a huge number of cities, I'm positive, would if they could. Bankruptcy law is kind of weird here in the U.S. It's bankruptcy at the municipal level is actually under federal law, not state law. However, states get to determine whether they want to allow bankruptcies at the city and municipal level or not. Illinois is one of the states that says no, they don't allow it. So a number of cities here that are deep in trouble with pensions can't declare bankruptcy whether they want to or not. And California is one of the states that does allow it, and California had a number of cities that declared bankruptcy. Michigan is another state that allowed it, and as we all know, Detroit declared bankruptcy. So Illinois would greatly benefit from this because there's a number of cities here that are just simply too deep in trouble. And the only way of escape is bankruptcy. So these cities are bankrupt in all but name. they simply can't declare it.
Is it really true if you win money in the state lottery in Illinois, you get an IOU?
That was true a couple years back. I don't know. I've not heard anything new on that. I don't believe that that's no longer true. Jim, I just don't know. But, yeah, that did happen at one time.
And I always wondered, who's going to play a lottery where you get an IOU?
Well, I think these people eventually got their money. It's nothing I've looked at recently, so I can't comment on. But when these lotteries get up into the tens of millions of dollars, there's a lot of people willing to play them. On occasion, I've played the lottery. Actually, at some point, sometimes the mathematical payout, these lotteries get so big, is it's got a positive payback for your dollar. It's just extremely unlikely that you're going to win.
Well, sure, you have a better chance of being hit by lightning 143 times.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
Are there other states that are in the same situation as Illinois right now? And what's been the cause of these financial problems?
Kentucky, New Jersey, two come to mind, are in really bad shape. I'm sure there's a lot more than that, and there will be a lot more when the next downturn hits. It's kind of amazing here, Jim, that despite this massive rally in the stock market over the last 10 years, the Illinois pension plans are still, on average, about 40% funded, and some of them way worse than that. So here we are. What happens in the next downturn? And it won't even take a 50% haircut in the stock market, which I think is coming, if stocks were just flat for the next 6 years, which would be about the best anyone could hope for. These pension plans are in trouble because they're expecting 7% returns annually. It's not going to happen, Jim. Of course, I said that 3 years ago, but despite this mammoth rally, Illinois pension plans are that much in trouble. And the same applies to a number of other states as well. Wisconsin happens to be the only state where the pension plans are actually solvent, and that's because the Wisconsin is the only state where the pensioners and the state share the responsibility and share the liability. So if the stock market falls in Wisconsin, what happens is the plan payouts will be reduced. Wisconsin's solvent, hardly any other state is.
I was going to say, of course, look at the taxes that they collect from all those Green Bay Packer jerseys they sell.
Well, I don't think that's funding the pension plans, but yeah, the Packers are a big draw.
Mike, thank you so much for being on the show.
A pleasure to be on, Jim.
My guest has been Mike Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on maven.net/Mish Talk. He is soon moving to thestreet.com. If you have any questions for Mish or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.